I found an open matte version of The Matrix, and before the film format villagers kick my door in, let me be clear, this does not appear to be a 35mm scan. From the file info, this looks like an open matte hybrid, some HDTV open matte source stitched together by the kind of internet wizard who definitely owns too many hard drives and has strong opinions about aspect ratios. So this isn't about grain this time, print damage, celluloid texture.
There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern.
This isn't me finding Morpheus's personal film reel in the cupboard. This is about something else.
Human beings are a disease. Cancer of this planet. You are a plague.
The frame.
Of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again.
Because The Matrix is already a movie about hidden reality, a false world, a controlled image, a system that tells you this is all there is. And then you watch the open matte version and suddenly the image literally opens up.
One thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them. What are they? Sentient programs.
More top, more bottom, more ceiling than God maybe intended. It is incredibly stupid, and also weirdly perfect. So a quick explanation, mainly for me because I've been wrong about this stuff before. Open matte means you're seeing more of the captured frame than the standard widescreen presentation usually shows, and often that means extra image at the top and bottom. That does not automatically mean it's better.
Holding all the doors, they are holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
That does not automatically mean it's the intended version, and it definitely does not mean every extra bit of ceiling is sacred cinema handed down from Mount Wachowski. Sometimes open matte versions reveal cool extra space. Sometimes they reveal boom mics, awkward framing, weird dead air, or an actor's shoes having a private emotional subplot. More picture is not always more movie, sometimes it's just more wall. But with open matte, the whole thing is fascinating because the film is about perception. What you see, what you don't see, what the system allows you to see. So even if this isn't the correct theatrical version, it becomes a really interesting alternate way to experience the film. The thing people forget about The Matrix is that it's obsessed with frames. Neo starts the film boxed in by screens, cubicles, offices, windows. He lived inside frames before he even knows he lives in the Matrix. The computer screen tells him to wake up, the office traps him in, the interrogation room traps him in, the city traps him in. The whole world is basically one giant invisible crop. And that's why the open matte version feels weirdly fitting, because you thought you were seeing the whole image. You weren't. There was more image hiding outside the official frame. That doesn't mean the open matte version is automatically superior, but it does turn the act of watching it into a final version of the movie's own idea.
Please remove any metallic items you're carrying, keys, loose change. Holy shit!
The reason fans get hooked on this version is simple, it changes how scenes breathe. In the official widescreen version, The Matrix is sleek, controlled, sharp, iconic, every frame feels designed. That's the version most people know, and for good reason. But the open matte version gives some scenes a different energy, more vertical space, more of the bodies during the fights. set, more environment, sometimes more nothing. But even the nothing is interesting because this is the Matrix. An emptiness in the Matrix always feels like it's been approved by a depressed computer. And because The Matrix is such a perfect physical action film, that matters. But it's also bodies moving through space. Kung fu, wire work, gunplay, dodges, falls, kicks, a man bending backwards so hard, every chiropractor in 1999 felt a disturbance in the force. The open map version lets you study the geometry differently. You're not just watching the movie, you're watching the movie's construction, breathe around the edges. And even though this isn't 35mm scan, there's still something about this version that reminds you the Matrix was made as a physical object. And that's what I like about seeing alternate versions like this. The open frame makes the movie feel less sealed. You can see the production around the edges. And with The Matrix, that's part of the magic. It's a movie about a fake digital world, but the filmmaking is incredibly physical. Now obviously open matte can be weird. We need to admit that. Sometimes you watch these versions and think, wow. And other times you think, ah yes, the top of a door frame. Cinema.
I told you I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it.
Because theatrical framing exists for a reason. A widescreen crop isn't always censorship, a lot of the time it's composition. It's where the filmmakers wanted your eye to go. And that matters because The Matrix is such a composed film. It has comic book precision. The theatrical frame is still the film's main form, but the open matte version is the weird side door. This is the kind of thing that makes film nerds lose their minds. Anything that suggests there's another version of a movie hiding somewhere. People act like the hidden version is automatically the true version, which is how you end up in a forum thread at 2 AM. But sometimes these versions show you something. They reveal the edges of the process. These films don't just exist in one magical final form, they get cropped, mastered, broadcast, remastered, scanned, compressed, reframed, fan-stitched, and passed around like an object. This open matte Matrix version is part of that world. A version where the simulation's frame gets pulled back just enough to make the whole thing newly interesting. It's not the definitive version, but it's fascinating because The Matrix is a movie about hidden systems, false realities, and seeing beyond the world you were handed. And the open matte version turns that into visual experience. The frame opens, the image breathes. You see more space around a film that is literally about waking up to the idea that reality had edges. That's why I understand fans chasing this version down. Not so they replace the original, but because they make you look at the film you know by heart and suddenly think, wait, was there always more?
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
The matte version is the glitch, and once you see the frame glitch, you can't quite unsee it.